declaring the winner by knockout, still undefeated, and new!
Hello everyone, how you guys doing today? Welcome to Libra TV. Thank you so much for being here. So today's video, I'm going to talk about the UFC 298. The last UFC card, headlined Alexander Volkanovski versus Ilia Topuria. That fight was incredible. This card was good. The only boring fight in this card is the Ian Gary versus Neil. That was a boring fight. Ian Gary, the prospect, the Conor McGregor guy. Conor McGregor predicted Ian Gary is gonna win this fight. He came in. The fight didn't go on the ground. It was all stand up. He did his job. Like, he got a decision. Now Gale lost. He lost back to back now. So I don't know how this will play out for Ian Gary. For sure, he will climb up and move up to 8th position in the welterweight division. So Ian Gary got the victory, and then I think the card was good. I think Ian Gary's fight was good, wasn't that bad. But anyways, for me, that was the only boring fight in this main card. So I'm gonna talk about all the fight. The fight was so good. Anthony Hernandez versus Romer was a good fight. Anthony got the victory by submission in the second round. That was good. Merab versus Henry Cejudo. Henry Cejudo took some time off. He lost. He lost to Merab. He came in after 3 years and he fought Sterling. And Sterling destroyed him. That was when Sterling was the bantamweight champion, and he destroyed Henry Cejudo. It's obvious. Like, he weighed down. Like, even if you watch the fight, that he slowed really down. The first round he was doing okay, but he got really tired in the second and third round. And his wrestling, he's an Olympic wrestler. Like, he has gold medal in wrestling, and his wrestling didn't even play a very big impact. Merab even carried him like in the second round. Like, I was like crazy. Like, he dominated Henry Cejudo in the second and third round and got the victory. That was an easy fight for Merab, to be honest. Like, Henry Cejudo now lost to Sterling and now lost to Merab. Like, what's next for Henry Cejudo? I don't know. Maybe he might retire. He already pivoted that. Like, after this fight, if he loses this fight, he might consider retiring. I mean, that would be the second retirement in the past couple years. Like, even Dana White was like, you cannot, leave the sport. When Henry Cejudo left the sport in 2020, he was on top of his career. He was like the double champion. He was up there, and he left because of the payments, because the money he was getting wasn't enough. That's why he left. Now Henry has to, I don't know, retire or maybe come back. I don't know how this is gonna play out, but I think his time has passed. I think Merab right now needs to fight Sean O'Malley. Sean O'Malley is the guy right now with the belt. Merab was supposed to fight Sterling, but Sterling is Merab's best friend. Like, even during the fight against Henry Cejudo, in his corner there, Sterling was there like helping him out. So he didn't fight Sterling because they are best friends. Now his enemy O'Malley is the champion. I think it's time for Merab to go up there and fight O'Malley. Neil versus Ian Gary. Oh, this was a boring fight. Like, I didn't expect Ian Gary to fight like this. He's the guy that wants to be Conor McGregor, but he's a good fighter. Don't get me wrong. Stand up, he's good. But Neil, I think his time might be passing right now because he lost back to back. So I don't know what's next for Neil. He lost to Neil Magny like by submission years ago, and Stephen Wonderboy Thompson by decision. Ian Gary haven't lost, 14-0. His record is still intact. He still have potential. After the fight, Ian Gary called out Covington. I think Covington's fight might be a good fight for sure. It will be a stand-up. Kobe right now is ranked, I think, number 5 in the welterweight division. So Robert Whittaker versus Paulo Costa. This is probably my best card. Robert Whittaker, the former champion in the middleweight division, the guy that got destroyed by Israel Adesanya, and fought Paulo Costa. You know, like Paulo Costa, like thumbs up to Paulo Costa. You know, he did so well in that fight. You know, in the first round, he wobbled Robert Whittaker in the last few seconds, and Robert Whittaker got lucky there, saved by the bell, and Paulo Costa, you know, like I think that probably hurt because that round was supposed to be the if that round went over a little bit over like 20 seconds, I think Paulo Costa might got the victory, to be honest. But Robert Whittaker came in so strong and, you know, was putting in his punches properly. He was like making Paulo Costa miss a lot. Like he was putting in a lot of combinations in his punches. His volume really played a very big impact in this decision, in this fight, to be honest. Like Paulo Costa is a power puncher. We all know him. If he hits you, you will go down for sure. Like Paulo Costa was just mostly jabbing during the entire fight, wasn't like putting in a lot of combination, and he was like moving around a lot, you know. And Robert Whittaker was chasing him down. Like I think Paulo Costa kind of like gas out, was kind of slowing down like in the second and third round. Even look at the total strike here. Like Robert Whittaker got the most total strike, 175, and Paulo Costa got 151. And you know, like it's obvious, like accuracy counts in this fight. Like 95 out of 175, and Paulo Costa 67 out of 151. Okay, so it's obvious, you know, like Paulo Costa didn't even like try to punch more during the entire fight. You know, that fight was all stand up. I think it was exciting, even though like Paulo Costa busted Robert Whittaker. You know, if you look at Robert Whittaker's face, look at Paulo Costa's face. Paulo Costa's face is better. Whittaker's face got a lot of damages because Paulo Costa really hit him so hard. He was a really power puncher. But Robert Whittaker won this fight by volume. Okay, the main event, Alexander Volkanovski versus Ilia Topuria. This was the fight Alexander Volkanovski. Everybody was thinking Alexander Volkanovski will win this fight. Even the odd, everyone thought Alexander Volkanovski, this is the time, you know. This is the time to redeem himself after losing to Islam Makhachev, because he went up to fight Islam Makhachev twice. You know, the first one he did so well, and the second one he had 10 days of training camp. Like a lot of people were like, oh, this is so small. Like, why do you have to have 10 days of training camp or 11 days of training camp? It was so short. Like, he didn't have a full training camp. That's the whole point here. So he went there to and fight Islam and get knocked out in the first round. Now Ilia Topuria knocked him out in the second round. That was a bad knockout. Ilia Topuria now is the featherweight champion of the world. And after the fight, he called out Conor McGregor. We know that Conor McGregor's fight, there's a chance it's not going to happen for sure. Ilia Topuria needs to fight someone in his own division. Yair Rodriguez is there. Like, he's going to fight Yair Rodriguez. Right now, he's ranked number 3. And I think he's the guy potentially will fight Topuria. Or we might see Sean O'Malley moving up in weight to fight Topuria. Whoever wins that fight, if O'Malley wins that fight, he will be a double champion. If Topuria wins that fight against O'Malley, that's huge. And who knows how the future holds, right? Because I know Ilia Topuria for sure, every fight counts. He needs to make a lot of money in every fight. You don't want to fight a no-name fighter and make little money. He needs to go to the top. Conor McGregor is the guy that will bring the money. Like, even though he wins or lose, like Conor McGregor will pay him for sure. Like, he's making millions of dollars doing that. So Ilia Topuria, his next move we don't know, but he's a force in the nature in this division. Even Dana White said it. He says he's a force. Nobody can stop him. He's undefeated. 15-0, and Alexander Volkanovski, I'm not sure what's next for Alexander Volkanovski. He might retire. He says he's not retiring. He will keep fighting. He needs a rematch. Even Topuria pivoted that he needs to fight Alexander Volkanovski in Spain. You know, UFC, they're planning on going to Spain. I think now they have a Spanish champion. I think it's better. This is the right time to do it. The African champion is no longer there anymore because Dana White said before he wants to go to Africa. Now there's no African champion, so I think going to Spain for the first time is a good idea. It's the best way to go. So Ilia Topuria champion, Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to Lebra TV. Thank you. I will see you guys later. Peace.